ASLO president, John Downing, and he's going to give an exciting talk about ASLO and what's going on here for our society.
Thank you so much, Deidre. Thank you. So appreciated. I don't think I'm giving an exciting talk, though. But I'm going to try. I am excited about this talk. I'm excited about this meeting. It's going to be a fantastic meeting with spectacular science and wonderful people to network with. It should be just great. And there's so many interesting aspects that Deidre told you about that I'm really looking forward to. And a whole bunch of different resources that ASLO has created to try to build and strengthen the next generation of aquatic scientists on this particular planet. This talk is really difficult for me because I'm between two T-shirts. I was given two T-shirts today, and I don't know which one to wear, but I did put on this beautiful white T-shirt from the ASLO program, and I'll talk about, yeah, that's right. Thank you. I got it really, really big, not just because I seem to be getting bigger, but anyway. And I also made a donation to the Save ELA people who are at the meeting, and I got this other beautiful T-shirt, and I'll be wearing this one a little bit later too, but it was very difficult. I had to flip a coin. I may put it on a little bit later here. It's an important program, and if you look at Save ELA, the web address .org, you can get much more information about that very important initiative. So my exciting talk, as Deidre said. I'll have to find first a way to change slides. Well, that's good. That's changed now for me. Thank you. And I've also been told that we'll probably have a second screen sometime later. There's been a little bit of a equipment malfunction. But the first thing to do, of course, well, other than to say welcome, welcome, welcome to New Orleans, and welcome to this great meeting and this absolutely wonderful, welcoming city. That would be number one thing to say. Fantastic. I have met nothing but wonderful people here, and I think it's just going to be a great week, either in the conferences or outside of them. But the next thing to do is, of course, to extend thanks to the committee that made all this possible, and it is a lot of work. I don't want to discourage anybody from volunteering to do this, but Deidre sort of glossed over all the really tough work that goes on to make something like this happen. A spectacular group of co-chairs, Deidre Gibson, Hans-Peter Grossart, Nancy Rabelais, and Kam Tang, who are here. Can you stand and wave or something? I saw you a little while ago. Yeah, there they are. Thank you so much. And Brian Roberts, and the local committee, Brian Roberts, Sybil Bargu, Jean Turner, Emily Smith, and probably most importantly, Sandra Gibson, Deidre's mom. And we're so glad. Can you stand and be recognized? There's Jean over there. Thank you. Thank you for your tremendous work on making this a meeting happen. I was an organizer of the Santa Fe, one of the Santa Fe meetings, and I remember it felt just a little bit like having about 1,200, in this case more like 2,000 of your best friends come to visit you. So it's exciting. So I live in Iowa, right out in the middle of the United States. This is the way I kind of look at the Mississippi and the United States, looking down toward Louisiana. I live in a coastal town of Ames, Iowa, and during high water, we're sending all this stuff downstream and down to Louisiana. And you know, sometimes the water I work on is only a couple days from St. Louis, which means it isn't too far from here. So we're getting closer and closer to Louisiana. In fact, I was thinking as I was walking around downtown that probably New Orleans is built on about 10% Iowa. So I think something like that. And the hypoxic zone is probably a lot worse than that. So this is kind of how I look at these things. I did some calculations, and I'm giving you these little bits of numbers just to accentuate how important an organization like ASLO is. We're in charge of the world's water, basically, the world's surface water, inland continental waters and marine waters. And these are some calculations I did just to see how important my state is in exports of nitrogen and phosphorus down the Mississippi. You'll notice that for the Gulf of Mexico, the Mississippi River contributes about 63% of that nitrogen budget, and Gene and Nancy probably have much better numbers on this, but it also contributes about 85% of the phosphorus. And if you run the numbers on this, this means that the little state of Iowa out there probably contributes about 11% of the nitrogen budget of the Gulf of Mexico. So the limnology we do in this little place way upstream has a big effect on what happens downstream. And I think this is a unique position for the society. ASLO is one of the very few organizations on Earth that actually pays attention to all of the world's waters. And I think that's a great responsibility and an important niche to be filled by the scientists at this meeting. And the other little number there that's really shocking is that Iowa probably supplies about 2 to 3% of the nitrogen in the North Atlantic. This is kind of one way that I look at the world of limnology and oceanography. It's a somewhat simplified world. On the left-hand side of the screen, you see Iowa, where I work and live and work in limnology, and on the right-hand side, that's Nancy and Jean's world and the world of oceanography in the Gulf of Mexico. The connections are extremely tight, as has been demonstrated by the spectacular work of people working in the Gulf of Mexico. Two things I want to do before I stop talking and cede the stage to Gene Turner, who is going to introduce our next speaker. I just wanted to talk to you about great things that are going on in ASLO, and then I want to just highlight a couple of really important things that are happening at this meeting. I want to talk briefly about finances, really briefly about finances, talk about membership, publications, and activities. I don't know if anybody here is really aware of this, but we run some really great programs that are mostly funded. Well, every membership fee that is paid by you all is actually subsidized 4 or 5 to 1 by the money that we earn on our publications, so that the connection between meetings and activities and publications are extremely tight. Our financial, that scared me. I just am hoping they don't put that big camera on me like they did Deidre. That's a big screen. The first thing I'd like to do is talk about finances. I want to talk about finances. We're in really great shape, and I'd like to invite you all to the business meeting tomorrow night, and you can learn lots more about that. Membership in ASLO is increasing, mostly because we're a strong organization and also because of some initiatives of the board. Many science societies around the world are shrinking, and I think they're the best venue for science, for teaching and learning science, technology, engineering, and math. We're growing because of outstanding meetings like this one, student and early career programs, publication products that are outstanding. And I just wanted to announce that for those of you who paid the non-member rate when you registered for the meeting, ASLO is going to be extending complimentary membership for the 2013 year again this year, and we hope that for those of you who join the society in that way, that will be the first of many years of ASLO membership for you. And welcome. Publications. This is probably too much stuff to digest in a second, but this is a distillate of all the aquatic journals indexed by ISI and who publishes them on the left, how many articles are published by those journals, and how many citations there are for those journals. The only reason I'm showing you this is to suggest that scientific publications are changing, and so the economic model of science societies are now societies, independent societies only publish 20% of the journals, 16% of the articles, and get 14% of the citations. This is an incredible trend, and in fact, in the neighborhood of 78% of all publications, all citations worldwide are citations to corporate-owned scientific journals. And so this is a difficult challenge, and ASLO is facing it really head-on by working through something called the ASLO Comprehensive Evaluation. For publications, I'd like to first encourage every one of you, because of this sort of change in publication model, to publish in independent society journals like ours. We have great journals and great publications, ASLO Bulletin. We have journals that offer high quality at some of the most affordable rates in the industry, whether you're considering open access or the usual classic method, including limnology and oceanography, LNO methods, LNO fluids and environments. And you'll also notice as you're walking around that reviewers and editors are wearing little tags, and I'd like you to thank them for the hard work that they do in putting out these journals that are amongst the very finest journals in the aquatic sciences. So please stop them when you see the little ribbon and thank them for their hard work on this. We also have several newer products, and I'd like to highlight the LNO e-lecture series. There will be a town hall on Tuesday, and the location and time are easily findable by your app on your smartphone, but it will be from noon to 1:30. I'd also like to highlight the ebooks series that is introducing a brand new book at this very meeting on Thursday for with a champagne reception, and so that's not to be missed. And so I would enter that one into your smartphone also and make sure that you're there to congratulate Stephen Smith and also the editor Robin Anderson. How did I miss? I am having a little verbal problem. The editor for Robin Anderson for her wonderful work. Also, we are going through a complete redesign of our website, and this is a graph that Everett Fee and Paul Kemp probably wouldn't publish in the journals, and nor would Joe. But in fact, you can see this is a graph showing the increase in mobile accesses to our web resources, and they're being altered so that mobile access will be better. We're going faster with new servers and doing a complete redesign. There are great things going on at this meeting that I'd like to highlight really quickly. We have a great early career program. There are wonderful student activities. And the ASLO Multicultural program, which I am very excited about, and also meeting mentorship programs. And all of these four kinds of activities are meant to build and strengthen the future of our sciences. We need to do this in order to be great and to help great people have wonderful careers in the aquatic sciences. I'd like to highlight the ASLO Multicultural program. I'm wearing the t-shirt, right? This is an amazing program. It's in its 24th year, funded by the United States National Science Foundation and Ben Zucker of Hampton College. I know it's turned to university. I'm sorry, it was automatic. It's made to assist students from diverse backgrounds build careers in aquatic sciences, and this goes to strengthening our science and our society. There are 84 students here in that program, and maybe you all could stand up real quickly. Could you stand up? Oh, and these are my 3 mentees down here too, but please stand up if you're with the ASLO program. Thank you. And most importantly, Isa, Gracia, and Greg are my mentees who are sitting down here in the second row. But introduce you. When you see people wearing great T-shirts like this, introduce yourself and show them around and help everybody have an exciting meeting. They come from Puerto Rico to Hawaii and everywhere in between those points. And I'd encourage you to go to the Student Symposium on Wednesday. Everybody's welcome. And also, I'd like to thank all the meeting mentors that signed up to help. It changes the aspect of a meeting for the better, I think, to work with exciting and excited young scientists. I know there are 3 meeting mentorship programs, and I just like to share that sadly, the first 3 ASLO meetings I went to, I remember standing around with nobody to talk to and wishing that I wasn't there, kind of, although I like the science. And I would encourage any student to get involved in mentorship programs, and all of you, the senior scientists who like to help build great science, please do too. Now, another thing is we're going through a strategic planning exercise, and I'd like to say that Jim Elser will be stationing himself at the ASLO booth during every poster session to get your most exciting ideas. He'll be asking you to give your great ideas to him about the future of ASLO and where we can do great things. He's giving out great prizes. He didn't know that. Well, or was it free drinks? I'm not sure which one it was. Anyway, something like that for the very best suggestion. So the prize will be a beautiful future for the society. I'm having a little clicker deal. And lastly, what I'd like to do is invite each and every one of you to join the ASLO business meeting, which is tomorrow night, right here, if I read the program right, from 5:45 to 7. And as an added benefit, you not only get to learn about the society and how things are going, but you also get to hear a spectacular talk by Curtis Suttle, who is our newest Hutchinson medalist. And this will be followed by the student and early career mixer, so it is a fantastic party. And I appreciate your coming to this meeting. I look forward to a wonderful week, and I hope you have a great, great meeting here in New Orleans. And thanks to all of you.